Welcome back, folks. I'm here with our Greg Buchanan, of course, voice of the CPCA and host of the sports show on Tuesday evenings. Another exciting weekend to talk about sports. We really off to a pretty good start for sports this fall. You know, plenty of action locally in terms of hockey, football, high school sports in terms of volleyball. We had the J. William Gow Memorial Tournament over the weekend. But what's on many people's minds, of course, is the Bobcats opening weekend, which was a disappointing one, a 5-2 loss in Edmonton, or in Spruce Grove rather, against the Saints. And then they hosted the defending champs on Saturday night, and not the third period that Coach Clayton was looking for.
Yeah, 1-1 going into the third, and you're at home. You lose the night before against Spruce Grove. You know, and credit to Spruce Grove, they're the defending league champions, and they won because they know how to win. And they showed that in the final 20 minutes of that game. It looked like the Bobcats just stopped competing, and Spruce Grove took over, and that is why they won league championships. So lessons learned, and they always say you learn more from losses than you do from wins. So you're hoping the Bobcats learned something in the first weekend, because it doesn't get any easier. Fort Mac comes to town Friday and Saturday, and you cannot afford to go after a 0-4 start.
Yeah, and so as we were talking about with not competing as hard in the third period, that obviously can't happen again in this weekend where you have 2 straight home games. So what do you do in practice to make sure that not competing hard enough isn't an issue?
You battle, and you battle, and you battle. You have battle drills, and you show. And I think more of this, the battles down low, behind your net, behind the opposing net. You got to win those battles, those one-on-one battles, to get the puck, get it out, or get in front of the net for a scoring opportunity. So you know, Travis is probably not going to have a lot of skating, but just a lot of compete. And you want to see compete in practice all week long, and you hope it carries over to Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, the Lloydminster Bandits were also competing over the weekend, and a split to start things off for the September.
Yeah, it's a preseason, so a lot of times, you know, you had 46 kids at camp for the Bandits, so they're looking to see who's going to make this team, who won't make this team. And on Friday, they beat Vermilion 5-1, and then on Sunday, lost to St. Paul 5-3. St. Paul had a very veteran lineup, close to 10, 20-year-olds in their lineup. So it's, you know, some good indications that the Bandits can compete at that level, and showing out to some players that can play at that level, and then showing that some players can't. So more decisions to come, and they go on the road this weekend in St. Paul. Then the regular season begins in 2 weeks' time. Yeah,
which gives basically a little under 2 weeks' time to finalize that roster.
Yeah, finalizing the roster, knowing where your strengths are going to be. The Bandits will be deep up front. The back end's going to be hopefully coming together, and in that they should be pretty solid.
Sounds good. I know hockey fans will be happy to see that going forward in the next couple of weeks. And we'll have more with Greg Buchanan on Primetime Local News this evening. Welcome back in studio with us again, Greg Buchanan, voice of the CPCA, and exciting news out of the Canadian Professional Chuck Wagon Association as the drivers for the Stampede have been announced. So give us there's some juicy details here in terms of who's going and who's not.
Yeah, the Calgary Stampede comes out with their invites on Friday, contact all the drivers involved. The CPCA had 8 drivers last year and 1 demo driver. And this year, good news for a 2019 show at the Calgary Stampede. 10 drivers from the CPCA going and 2 demo drivers, so 12 overall. 2 of the new drivers into the fold for the Calgary Stampede includes Danny Ringett and Chris Flanagan. In the sport of chuck wagon racing, we always talk about the young guys coming up. That's the future of the sport, so great to see Chris and Danny get in. And Dale Mitzwing wins the association, but he'll go there as a demo driver. I know some fans are thinking that maybe he should be there as a driver, but nonetheless, he's there as a demo driver. Also as a demo driver is Lane Tournier. So a good news for the CPCA.
Absolutely. Not as good news, obviously, for the Mitzwing clan. I know we had you had probably talked to Dale as well. He was hoping to be able to make his first Stampede and be able to race against his dad. Obviously, he'll be there at the same time, but not compete against him. Why do you think the Stampede is unwilling to let him compete and simply be as the demo driver to start things?
That's the discretion of the Calgary Stampede. That's the best you can say. I know for the Mitzwings, it's going to be a special year at the Calgary Stampede. It's Ray's final year. It'll be Dale's first year at the Calgary Stampede. In a perfect world, they would love to be racing against each other. Dale's going to be there, but just as a demo driver. And because he's a rookie driver, you know, maybe the Calgary Stampede looked at it, you know what, Dale's got many more years to come to race at the Calgary Stampede, and he can take a look at that too.
And that is true. We do expect to see him for many years to come in the CPCA finals as well. Of course, Danny Ringette, as you were saying, one of the other new drivers. Probably safe to say that his solid showing at the finals this year in Lloydminster made a difference in that decision?
I think that, and he was so consistent all season long. He had some great runs, and more than anything, and same with Chris Flanagan, staying consistent and putting back-to-back runs together. It bodes well, and it looks very good for Danny Ringette to get to the Calgary Stampede. And maybe he's one of those kind of drivers that will be at the Calgary Stampede for years to come. He's hoping. So.
Yeah, exciting stuff in chuck wagon racing. Really quick, we have about 30 seconds left. Give us a little bit on the Wheatland Football League. Our Lloydminster team's doing well.
Yeah, Lloyd Comp, Holy Rosary both win games in the weekend. But more than anything, you don't want to look past games this week in the league.
Right.
But at the same time, it's hard not to, because Lloyd Comp and Holy Rosary meet in 2 weeks' time. And honestly, Lloyd Comp and Holy Rosary is a whole different level than everybody else in the Wheatland League. So looking forward to the matchup for the Battle of the Border.
I guarantee you everyone else in Lloydminster is looking forward to that matchup as well. And we'll be back on Primetime Local News.